It was a clash of contrasting personalities yesterday as Rigati Gachagao, I beg your pardon, squared up against Martha Karua at the Catholic University of the East Africa Auditorium for the deputy presidential debate ahead of the August 9th, 2022 presidential election. The first debate featured running mates whose popularity in the last three opinion polls stood below 5%, and these are Justina Wamai of the Roots Party and Ruth Mucheru of Agano Party. Or the second part featured deputy presidential candidates whose popularity in the last three opinion polls stood above 5%.
The candidates answered questions from several sectors on how they would govern the country if elected. Coming as a curtain raiser ahead of the big face-off between their principals, William Ruto and Raila Odinga next week, Mr. Gachagua and Ms. Karua seized the opportunity to highlight what their respective administrations would do after the August 9th election, which is touted as the battle of the country's economic liberation. Our East Africa correspondent, Abdinoor Aden, joins us live from Kenya. Good morning, Abdinoor. Thank you very much for joining us. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, and good morning.
Good morning. It was indeed a heated debate last night, wasn't it? Tell us, what was your assessment of the debate? There were conversations about corruption, high cost of living, unemployment. But first, let's talk about your thoughts on the debate yesterday.
First of all, it has been a commendable initiative to have the debate between...
Do we still have you, Abdinoor?
For the forthcoming general elections, which is 19 days away. Therefore, first of all, I believe having the two of them face off has indeed given Kenyans an...
We are certainly having challenges with the internet
to look
connection.
at who is going to be. Beg your pardon. We currently see the deputy president, very important position, and now having the two front runners of the two deputies of the two front runners battle it out was indeed a great initiative.
All right, so let's also talk about some of the high points of the debate yesterday. What were some of the things that caught the attention of viewers and the electorate?
Well, first of all, if we go back to the two deputy presidential candidates, Honorable Martha Karua and Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, they're two people who've actually served the country in the past in two different positions, both in the administration, which is the public sector as well. And we have Honorable Martha Karua, who herself was one time cabinet minister in terms of concerned with matters justice. And it has indeed been one that actually gave Kenyans to see what new both have to offer. And if we might go deeper into the debate itself, some Kenyans feel that it was a letdown, more focused on personalities than issues.
All right. There have been several analyses of how the debate went. For some, was a slugfest and a battle of wits, with both candidates keenly aware that their debate performances might have become a bearing on the fortunes of their respective principals. We'll talk about your responses to the questions raised, but first of all, let's take a look at this clip.
Government to respond. The truth of the matter is that the role of President Uhuru Kenyatta in his bill is to craft his own succession, to continue governing Kenya through proxy, through Raila Odinga and Martha Karua. President Uhuru Kenyatta has already started assigning roles to Honorable Martha Karua, which means he is a leader, and in the unfortunate and unlikely event that they are elected to office, President Uhuru Kenyatta will continue governing this country outside his constitutional mandate, because there is a two-term limit that the president should retire. But the president does not intend to retire. You saw how angry he was, saying that people are asking him to go home and asking where he's going. It looks like he doesn't remember that when he sought to be president for 10 years, he knew what 10 years is all about. He cannot complain that people are asking him to go. Nobody is asking him to go. It's the Constitution. But he's trying to circumvent the Constitution to plant a proxy government, to continue governing from outside State House through Raila Odinga and Martha Karua. so that he can continue protecting state capture and conflict of interest.
It is important to be truthful in this debate. President Kenyatta has not publicly or privately assigned me any role. I'm sure he knows that he cannot assign any role to a minister in an administration he does not have. The person who has assigned me a role as deputy and has declared the intention to appoint me as Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, apart from being Deputy President, is the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga.
So, Abdinor, you've seen the clips, you've seen the allegations that this is an indirect attempt or on the part of President Uhuru Kenyatta to continue ruling the people of Kenya, which was, of course, argued for and against. What are your thoughts on this?
I was actually following the debate live from my sitting room because it was the entire nation's attention was drawn to that. Mother Karua was actually more focused on, or was challenged to, deny and refute the claims made by the current deputy president William Ruto's and UDA's presidential contenders running mate Rigathi Gachagua's claims that this was, an extension of President Uhuru Kenyatta's term indirectly. But of course, indeed, this is the narrative that has been dominating the social spheres in the country in the last few weeks and even months since President Uhuru Kenyatta publicly endorsed the Azimio presidential flag bearer Raila Odinga, and indeed finding its way in the podium during the deputy presidential debate last evening wasn't a surprise to many Kenyans. But what Kenyans really expected was something that will go beyond the roadshow remarks that they were used to, the roadside remarks that these politicians used to make in the past. And that includes the allegations of President Uhuru Kenyatta being, putting people in place as the Azimio Council principal. So, of course, my take on this entire thing is that since the deputy president...
Do we still have you up now, Upton? All right. We may have lost that connection. Of course.
I beg your pardon if I might quickly repeat that.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead, please.
Under the new constitutional dispensation, the deputy president is untouchable. And of course, many Kenyans wanted to know the content of the character of the deputy president in waiting.
All right. Seem to be struggling with the connection with Abdinor. Over there, of course, our East Africa correspondent. But of course, the conversation continues. The elections are on the 9th of August. So New Central TV will definitely continue to follow up on these things and bring you updates on the Kenyan elections.